Guys, finally Sleeps here. EA released Retro Stars slash Neon Nights event, and it seems like a pretty straightforward, simple event, but I'm getting a ton of questions on this, so we have to put an event guide together, free to play, because there is a lot more confusion than I thought there would be. So make sure we check this out. So there's no Retro Stars this year, but there is Retro Stars. It's just being rebranded into a new event called Neon Nights. And there is a lot of confusion on this thing, specifically with the intensity points and how they work, with some of the milestones, like how many retro points are you actually going to get and what is going to be possible with this event. And there's a little bit of, there was some confusion in the beginning because there was a daily quest that required manager's mode, and that is now gone. They took that out. It took about 16 hours or something for them to realize and pull it from there. So it didn't change what we can get awarded in the event, but it did just make things a little bit easier. So there is a lot going on, and we need to go through this to actually see what's possible and how important the event is in its reference to kickoff rivalries. First, though, make sure you subscribe here at YouTube. Turn on notifications so you never miss a video when it goes live for FIFA Mobile, Raid, any of the other video games, or the car shit, because you guys know I'm way into the car shit. So make sure you do that. It's the easiest way to subscribe, is the easiest way to support the channel, and it does actually do a lot. Check out finallyhesleeps.com as well, where everything just gets posted, video game related, car related, everything. Big supporters there. I want to give a few shout outs real quick before we get into this. Casey Evans, Christoph, Darren McConnell, Jonathan Downing, Politico, JMO, and Kinsey. Appreciate your continued support across all the channels, YouTube, the website, Twitch, everything. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so let's get into it. Now, the way this flow is, every day you're going to watch a few ads, you're going to play 4 skill games, and then you've got a final match. And then after you get that done, you got another match. So it's actually not the final match. It's the pre-match to the league match, because it's a semifinal, not a final. But that's pedantic. We're not going to get into that. It's semantics. No, it's linguistics. It's basically just screwed up. So we've got 4 skill games and 2 matches moving forward. Then you have these intensity points, which you're going to be able to claim them every 3 days if you want to do it, but we'll talk about that in a second, because you're not going to want to do it more than just 3 days, because there's no real benefit other than some 70s and some coins, and it's not going to really make a difference moving forward. There are 3 different kinds of event currency. We have neon points, which is the main thing that you're going to use to just get rewards. We also have intensity shards, which we're going to talk about in a second. You got to remember that they are a shard, not a point. We love shards. It's basically a portion of a point. And then we also have beat tokens, which is this event's version of the Lunar New Year red envelopes, which is a recurring portion of these things that we see in most of the events. This is the drum pad. This is what this is. This is where every day you have 3 rewards, and you can kind of open this stuff up and look for the rewards. And remember, the order, like row 2, number 4, blah, 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 none of that means anything. The way the mechanics on these kind of things work, each time you open one, it doesn't matter if you go in order or what, it is a percentage and odds that you're going to get a reward. So there's no advantage to skipping around, even though it does make some people feel better, like they have a better chance of getting something. It's not how it works. It's a percentage. So there's, what do we got? 6, 24. It's always 24. You have a 1 in 24 chance of getting it. No, it doesn't matter. You have a percentage of earning one of those rewards. That's why no matter where you pick, it always seems like the 24th one you open is how you get one of the top of the daily 3. That is because of the way the mechanics on this work, and I'm going to keep explaining this every time their event comes, because people still aren't understanding that and are continuing to get confused. The difference is this time we have drum pad intensity, which is explaining a little bit more about how your percentage chances are to earn rewards moving through the drum pad. If you claim this and you increase your intensity here, you have a higher percentage of earning one of those top 3 rewards every time you click on one of the nodes. So that's different, something new. But again, they're shards, so we're going to talk about that in a minute before we move on. It's not intensity points, it's intensity shards, and it does make a difference. The reward path is where you come in and claim all this stuff. This is just using your neon points. But again, a new appearance of intensity, that you use the intensity shards, and this is a little different here because you use these to unlock these special reward paths. So to get in this one, your intensity has to be to level 2. But we'll go explain it now. To get to level 2, you need 1 intensity reward, which requires 10 shards. See, now are you understanding those points that you earn each day are a little bit different? So it's 10 shards to gain 1 intensity point. So you start out with 1 intensity free. So to get to number 2, which means to get to the 94s, it's going to cost you 10 intensity shards. 20 intensity shards to get to the 97s, and 30 to get to the 99s. You're only getting 1 a day. So the 99s are out of range already because you're only getting 1 a day. Retro Stars tab is where the Retro Stars players are, and if you're unfamiliar with what a Retro Stars is, it is a re-release of a previous program player updated with a higher OVR and skills, just so they can kind of re-release it and not have to do new dynamic images for them. It's basically what it is. So if you can look at a lot of times, do these even say? No, they don't say what they originally came from, but you can kind of figure it out based on their original card art, like whether it's, Davies from Team of the Season, that kind of a thing. But these are just re-released cards, usually much better. The other thing is once we see Retro Stars, people start asking, is the event resetting or is the season resetting? Don't ask that question. It's not like it used to be. Retro Stars is not marking the end of the season. It's not there. That's not what this is about. Because it's not Retro Stars, it's Neon Knights. Again, this is where all the confusion comes in. So, now what are we going to get? Understanding the event, you just have 6 things to do each day, and then maybe look at the drum beats. So, what are you going to get out of all that stuff? That's the big question. So, if we go back to the main tab, we have the skill games that we're going to play. You're going to earn neon points, and you'll eventually get a beat token and some retro points, I think. Is there retro points in here? Or the retro points are in the quests. There's a beat token and neon points, and then over here are your retro points once you claim that stuff. So how many of these things are you going to get, and what is required? So you get 275 neon points for playing all this stuff, 1 beat point, 1 intensity point. You also have the daily milestones that we go to here for the event, which basically just play a couple of versus matches, a skill game in training, and then you play your skill games in Neon Knights. You get 4 more beat tokens from that. There is also this daily milestone right here, which is 5 retro points per day for playing the 6 daily events, 4 skill games and 2 matches. And there was some confusion in the beginning. People were like, well, you can only claim this 6 times. No, that 0 to 6 at the bottom is not that you can only claim it 6 times. It's that's just marking out, did you do all 6 things required to get you through the skill game? This thing actually does refresh every single day. Add in the weekly milestones. If you're doing the 3 intensity shards in the main chapter, you're also going to earn 10,000 rivalries tickets, which is fantastic. That's 30,000 rivalries tickets and 3 Neon Knight 92 plus players just for using your intensity shards here in this. So that only means you do this once per week, to claim, use 3 shards to claim a main intensity point, and then you're also going to earn 5 additional retro points, 250k and a silver player for each point for each week. So our retro points are going up, our neon points are going up, and we're using part of our 7 shards each week. And when we add all that stuff together, our grand total for the 21 days is 372 retro points, 5,775 neon points, 105 beat points, and 21 intensity shards. So that's what you're going to get just using the main tab. Now, if we're going to use 3 of those intensity shards each week to gain this very first intensity offer, you're down you're only going to get 12 intensity shards left over to use either in the rewards chapter or the drum pad. Now, if we go over to the drum pad, remember 105 beat points is where you start. And depending upon what you do for this or whether or not you use drum pad intensity, you're still going to be able to use those 105 beat points. They're going to allow you to claim all the way up to the milestones through the rivalries tokens, through the retro points, through Zardes, and then into the 125 coins. You're not going to be able to go past that to the coins past Zardes because you only have 105. You're going to be 15 short, 15 beat tokens short. But those retro points are going to start to add up. We go to the reward chapter. Now, this is where things get a little different here. You have 5,775 neon points free to play going through the event. There's no challenge mode or anything else that goes along with it, so it's just those 5,775 neon points. Now, if you use 20 of your 21 intensity, which you're not going to want to do, it's going to allow you to unlock this tier of rewards above 15 and claim 1 of the 97s. That's it. So the 97, one of the 97s is free to play, but you're doing it and you're missing out on the 30,000 rivalries tickets, and you're missing out on the 15 retro points from the main tab. It's just not the most intelligent thing. You're probably better off holding on to all your intensity shards, using them for the main tab, either the first tier or the second tier reward. Second tier reward's not gonna really help you that much, but the first tier reward at least, and then maybe the drum pad to get a little bit of a bonus there for your when the rewards pop up, if anything decent shows up in there. Instead of doing that, forget the intensity shards here in the reward. Forget the players. They're not going to be worth anything either. You're better off just instead going and grabbing the beat points at node 5. There's a beat point there. And then again, all the way at 17. Where's 17? There's another beat token on 17. You're going to grab 5 retro points at tab 19 or 18. And then when you get over to 19, if you come up to 19.1, they're 500 skill boost. That's going to use your neon points. Just forget the players. That's going to be your best opportunity. If you wanted the 5 beat points over the 500 skill boost, it's an option, but for me, the skill boost is going to be more important than the extra 5 beat points. That's going to allow you to go back and earn more stuff over at the drum pad and the retro stars. So if we look at the retro stars now, you have 372 retro points from the main tab and the intensity milestones and daily stuff. If you're getting 5 from node 18, that brings you up to 377. Then we get 75 from the beat milestone. That puts you at 452 free to play, which means the hundreds are now in range. Those 4 retro stars, one of them is possible free to play. Now the 100 difference to get you here to the 101s, the retro point special, let's see, 7,000 for 100. 7,000 FIFA points makes the difference. Now, you don't all have to go all the way in. It's 470 FIFA points or 1175 gems for 5. And if you opted to come back and use more shards each week and grab the second intensity level to take you up to here for 6 For the first 2 weeks, it's an additional 5 retro points times 3 weeks. That's 15 that you're making up the difference for. And then the final week, you would be able to get this last one. So 15 plus an additional 50. So you're at 65 additional retro points. You're going to be 35 short to go that route. 35 retro points short. There may be some offers pop up along the way to get those 35 missing shards, or you're going to be out about 9,000 gems at best, or maybe there's another store offer that gives a little bit more. We'll have to see, but you're going to be 35 retro points shy of a 101, and that's basically the entire event. Remember, they are shards. They are not intensity points. They refresh weekly. Be intelligent with what you're using those things for, because they're going to make a big difference throughout the whole thing. Main focus for me is kickoff rivalries. None of the players from the Neon Knights are going to be worth much of at all, specifically the hundreds. Maybe the 101s will be worth a little bit more, but in my opinion, not enough to make up the difference of the gems or FIFA points required to get those missing 35 points each, retro points, to make the difference. All right, that's it. Hope that helped. Make sure you subscribe here at YouTube. Turn on notifications so you never miss when anything goes live. And as long as you guys keep watching, I'll keep making videos.